This week, we have another magical find.
Yeah.
An accidental find.
Sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're not so good. But I always enjoy picking movies kind of like on the spur of the moment. Because, we cover a lot that we've seen before. But first, I don't know, these ones are special, I guess.
They are. And like this one, it starts this whole cycle of thought. How was this not caught?
Oh, yeah.
When it came out.
Yeah.
Right? Because, it's an indie film, but it's a big budget indie film.
Oh, yeah. Total sleeper.
And I'm thinking it should have had some kind of press back when it came out.
Well, I'm sure it did, but not enough.
Well,
not enough to get through.
No, which is a shame. But hey, it's out there. We saw it. And we can talk about it. Some magnificent people.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite people, period.
Yeah.
That I love to see in films. Fun stuff.
Yes. Well, I don't know that we need to go on about it. We could just jump in.
I want to, though. Why'd you give me that look?
I don't know. I don't know what do we do now?
Well, I guess we just jump into it because we did, in fact, go on about it. We just hit this thing.
Are you sure you don't want to fanboy over it some more?
Well, I would, but you know what? I do it in there, and I think they get it. Because you know what? The big secret, there was one name, just one, that said, we're watching this.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, shall we?
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey there, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
I have reasons.
You do?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, because some people listen to podcasts at like 1.5 speed or 2 speed or more.
Oh, you're jacking with them?
And I'm fucking with them.
I love it. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, providing anyone's still listening after that, and they're not going to the doctor, say, I'm having a stroke. Something's wrong.
What's happening?
We have a movie this week.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what we do?
Yeah, we're mixing it up. We're actually going to do movies.
Whoa.
Oh, wait, we have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much for being original.
So much for changing it up.
I know, right?
I guess we're sticking with the same old, same old.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool one. And it was a random find.
Yes.
And I just want to say before we get into all this, another one that has been under the radar
for over 10 years.
For 12 years.
I never heard of this movie before we found it on Tubi, and I'm glad that we found it because it was delightful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, but...
Yeah. Well, it kind of brings into perspective, we're looking for indie films and B movies to talk about because everyone knows about the A-list crap. The number of magnificent movies that just they play and then they vanish.
Right. And this was a Sundance baby.
Well, there's some people in this.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, I mean, there was one particular reason that we picked it. And okay, I want to preface this by saying we browse Tubi for movies and put stuff on our lists, and for the most part, if a movie does not have a trailer on the streaming service upon we are watching.
Right, and they're all guilty of having a mishmash of with and without.
Then we do not usually watch this movie.
No.
This movie did not have a trailer.
It did not.
but we picked it anyway.
Yes, we did.
Because, well, 2 words, 1 name.
Yeah, and we'll find that name in just a second. The other thing is, we've been reducing the amount of notes that we take. We don't get granular.
Yes.
With every film. There's so much that goes on, even to write about it in passing, grouped in with like 4 more scenes front and back.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up with way more notes than we've had lately.
Oh, that's true. I've got like 2.5 pages.
Right?
This is back to like.
Well, for you, it's normal. For me, it's still, that's quite a bit less than what I normally have. But I've been keeping it to like 1 3/4.
Yeah.
1.5. But yeah, this one's a thinker.
Yeah.
And, some people will get it when we start listing the names.
Oh, yeah.
But we all have movies like that.
That's true.
We all have immediate buy-ins, right? And I think that's fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
The sad thing is, like, a lot of folks in this have done indie films before and B movies before. They don't get, outside of the festival circuit, they don't get lauded for it.
Right.
It's kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it because I've been itching for this.
I'm anxious.
All right. This week, we are going to talk about Cold Souls. It was done in 2009, directed by, what is this name?
Sophie Barthes.
Is it Barthes?
Yeah.
Sophie Barthes, written by Sophie Barthes, starring Paul Giamatti.
That's right.
Emily Watson, Dina Corzin. It was rated PG-13, and it is a Sundance funded film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the log line for this: Paul is an actor who feels bogged down by his participation in a production of Chekhov's play Vanya. That doesn't. That's part of it.
Right.
But what comes after this?
Yeah,
crazy.
that's just the beginning, right?
Yeah. Before we begin, before you launch this, I feel like we need to do a spoiler.
Okay.
So the character Paul is played by Paul Giamatti, and it's Paul Giamatti.
Right. He plays a fictionalized version of himself.
Yes. Something we're going to talk about after.
Yeah, because we did have a little discussion about that while we were watching.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you start bringing into this bad boy?
All right. So we start out with Paul Giamatti doing a monologue. And my personal opinion, it's pretty good. It's a little dark, but
right. It's
pretty good. And he takes a break and the director is telling him that he's being too serious and he needs to lighten up a little bit. What happened to your sense of humor kind of thing. So then we get kind of this little montage of him going through his day, just doing all these kind of little day-to-day, eating lunch, kind of going through stuff, and ending with him in his house listening to a message from his agent about the jobs that he's not getting. And the agent recommends for Paul to read the latest issue of The New Yorker, which apparently is going to change his life.
Right.
So then we're in an airport, and there is a woman whose name is Olga going through security. And she is saying that she's leaving Russia for a medical issue. And then we have her taking off a wig and fake fingerprints, in a hotel. So she's not who she said she was.
Was that Olga?
The ID she had.
Oh, that's right. The
Olga.
ID she had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her real name comes up later.
Right.
But I did end up calling her Olga for a while. And meanwhile, Paul can't sleep. So he's reading that New Yorker article, and it's an article about soul storage. So he looks into this a little bit, and it's really funny because he opens up a phone book, and it's like self-storage, all this stuff, and soul storage, and there's just one number.
One number.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's a New York Yellow Pages phone book.
Yes.
So that, yeah, it's
big.
like 13 inches thick.
Yeah. So then we see Olga wandering through New York, sort of in a haze. Like something's going on with her.
Right. We get that blurry
Yeah.
lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she ends up in a hotel, and then she sees this kind of vision or memory or flashback, and it's like there's this woman and a lot of babies.
Yeah. Like a row of newborns.
Yeah.
With
And
their
it's
little
kind of
caps.
like sad. You get the feeling.
Yeah.
And then we have Paul looking more into soul storage, and he ends up going to the clinic. Olga is there on her way out, and they actually call her Nina as she's leaving. And then Paul is talking to the doctor, who is hilarious.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And not in a crazy doctor kind of way.
Right.
You can tell he's very buttoned down.
Yeah.
But
And like very practical.
yeah, but he just his phrasing and reactions to things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like the funny straight man, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's very weird. And Paul is like nervous about this. And a lot of things happen throughout their conversation, but I didn't detail all of it. At one point, the doctor offers him the ability to store his soul in New Jersey to like avoid state taxes. And Paul is like, God, no.
Yeah, nobody wants their soul in New Jersey.
And there's souls in jars on a shelf, and they all look different, right?
Right.
Every one of them is unique. And the doctor is explaining kind of a little bit about them, how most of them come in like dark colors or flesh tones.
Yeah, and these aren't like jars of like sparkly lights and stuff.
No.
The souls have their physical forms.
Right.
Right. One looks like like one of those weird mushroom things that grows out like a cluster of mushrooms. It's like a big viney thing that reaches up to the top. Another one looks, like pudding.
Right.
But he does mention that they were surprised that souls are so, they lean to the dark colors.
Right.
Yeah. They're not these rainbow glittery things.
Right. And you would think that they'd be like beautiful and sort of artsy, but they're not.
They are not.
There's one that looks like a lump of coal.
Yes.
Like, and one that looks kind of skeletal. It's very strange.
Yeah. But they're all, I don't want to say fist size, but like half a fist size worth of stuff, making it up. I mean,
roughly.
Yeah.
That's like the average size.
Yeah.
And Paul is very like still skeptical and nervous about the whole process, which is like unnervingly just clinical.
Right. And it's all going on like this is as routine as getting a hangnail removed.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like he's going in for an eye exam.
Yeah. Ultimately he does sign the contract.
Yes.
Right. And then he's put into this massive MRI looking machine for the extraction. And it really, imagine a giant marshmallow.
A big old fluffy marshmallow.
Yeah. Like, 8 feet across?
Yeah.
With a hole cut in the middle. And just like an MRI machine, the thing slides in and slides out. And it's funny because he goes, and the process sounds almost like a toilet flushing.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like, like, oh, this can't be good.
One of my favorite things about the machine, though, is when the doctor goes to operate the machine and he goes to the panel with the buttons. It's like very simple, old school sci-fi movie buttons. Like a very simple white panel and big, friendly labeled buttons.
Yeah. Extract.
Yeah.
It's like 3 inches across.
It is not complex.
No. So we hear those sounds, and then we cut to him sitting in a room with a bunch of other people, and they're all watching this video about how to feel afterwards. So it's kind of like an
Right.
instructional or informational video. And they're all dressed.
Yeah.
They're just all kind of hanging out. And then he's given this weird test to see how much of his soul is extracted. So they stick him in this like egg-shaped booth and they start showing images of different things. And then a drawer pops out and there's a bunny rabbit in it.
Uh-huh.
And he's so matter of fact, right? He sees the image and he's like,
Okay.
another one, And then the drawer pulls out and he sees the bunny. He picks it up, holds it close to him, puts it back down. So they determine he's had 95% of his soul removed.
Right.
And there's a mention that it's never 100%. There's always like some residual left behind. And then I love it. The doctor says, how do you feel? I feel hollow, empty, bored, overall great.
Right.
And then while they're talking, the doctor looks in the soul jar at Paul's soul,
which up till now has been covered in this like white neoprene sleeve.
Yeah.
Paul doesn't want to look at it.
Yeah. Like a protective insulation thing. And yeah, Paul doesn't want to look. So the doctor's like, and that gets Paul's attention. And we see, because they show it first from kind of a top angle.
Right.
You can barely see. And I wrote, his soul is the size of a macadamia nut.
What I wrote is, in the jar is a teeny yellowish bean-like thing.
Right. So Paul looks and he's mortified. He goes, are you telling me my soul is a chickpea? And then flustered, he drops the container and his soul bounces out. And them both looking for it is hilarious. But what happens is when they find it and they hold it up, the camera's in on it, and it is a fucking chickpea.
It is an actual chickpea.
That's the prop. So, the doctor's like, don't be embarrassed by the size of your soul. Everybody's different. Oh my God. And then we have him just doing a bunch of stuff. Like at home, he's weighing himself. He's looking in the mirror. He's just like smelling stuff.
Like, to me, it seemed like he was trying out his emotions.
Well, right. Yeah. To see if anything actually, struck anything. He's back at the rehearsal and the director is just completely confounded at Giamatti's performance. It's 180 degrees and not in a good way.
Nope.
No.
It's real bad.
He starts actually sounding almost like a carny barker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say we get this going, huh? Like, I don't know that Chekhov had that in mind for any of his characters. But anyway. Then Nina, I just called her the woman through the entire thing.
Oh, interesting. Well, I called her Olga up until the end when there's another character called Olga. And then.
But we know her name is Nina. Yeah. So I'm just going to refer to Olga / Nina, who is Nina / whoever she really is at the bottom of this, the woman. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So the woman is in some place and there's all these file cabinets and she's picking out a passport. She's getting new fake fingerprints.
Right.
And at this point, I'm like, apparently there's something where they get their souls removed so they can act as mules carrying something or other without, I was thinking without guilt. If you don't have a soul to guilt your conscience, you can't fuck up smuggling. That's what they look for, right? Uneasiness and stuff. So I thought, ooh, they got a thing going.
Yeah. What I had thought was they were sending people from Russia to the States to get their souls removed in New York.
That's a good point. I was going to bring that up at the end, but let's just bring that up now.
Right.
This takes place on 2 continents.
Yes.
In the U.S., well, in New York and then St. Petersburg, we find out, but Russia. For the longest time, I thought that it was a building like down by the docks.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Because we see her in there.
I get you.
There, for the woman, Nina, there is no hint of any travel other than when it suits that particular scene. Like, we knew she came in,
Yeah.
but I was just like, wow, when it finally dawned on me, I'm like, damn, now it's a little jarring. Because she's there at the clinic 1 minute and then she's getting these passports.
Yeah.
We have no clue that she's back in Russia.
Right.
So, a little spoiler. Let's see. So yeah, I thought they were doing the smuggling thing. Okay, I think that sort of makes sense. And there was something that comes up later that plays into it. When we get there, I'll bring it up. And then we see her at an art studio. There's people painting, there's ballet dancing, all in these different rooms. And if you've seen any kind of Russian buildings, like movies of these giant, Russia has these giant buildings.
Oh yeah.
They're beautiful. And they're used as like office space, right? So one room they're painting, one room they're doing something else, sculpting. Another room there's this dancer. This dancer screws up, goes out and is, mortified. And then the woman shows up and gives her a business card. And then we just see different shots of her talking to people, like all over the place.
Yeah.
And in a couple of them, she's holding a soul storage folder, like their brochure folder,
yes.
right? So I'm thinking, oh, she's a recruiter for the mules.
Okay. Yeah.
She's talking people into doing something terrible. And I call this place different things. Right now I'm calling it the hidden place. A woman is asking for her soul back. And that's Olga, the real Olga. Right. But the one woman is saying it's not possible. It's a pretty strict contract they have. I think this was in there specifically just to present to us the ironclad, super unfair terms. You get the whole sense that this is like Russian mafia.
Yeah.
Running this thing.
Well, right? they're scamming people out of their souls somehow.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then I had a thought at this point, maybe they string people along to make them act as mules, kind of like that whole holding the passport thing.
Sure.
Right? Someone gets a hold of your passport, you're going to do a favor for them. And then, 6 fucking months later, you're still doing favors. You can't go home and you can't let people know what you're doing. Right? And you can't go to the police because you've been working with a criminal.
You get stuck in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting stuff. She also doesn't seem super happy about her job, Nina.
No, and I just kind of, I got that. But also in a lot of these things with Russian characters, they're not the cheeriest people overall.
No.
So I just thought, this is more of she's not happy about it, but it's kind of a matter of fact thing.
Yeah. So then we have a scene with Paul and his wife, and he is hiding the evidence of his soul removal.
Yes.
Like the magazine. And she's in the bathroom and he's just like talking to himself in bed. And his wife gives him this weird look and she's like, "Are you practicing a new thing?" And he's like, "No." And she climbs into bed with him, rubs his chest and says it feels strange, scaly.
Yeah.
And then she tries to instigate intimacy with him. And he's like, "Well, you just compared me to a lizard. So nah."
It's a bit of a mood killer.
But he's acting very oddly, and she is definitely picking up on it.
Yeah.
And then they go to a dinner with some friends, and a woman at their table is going on about this struggle that she's having. And I didn't catch a whole lot of what she said, but it doesn't matter because what he says completely puts at oh, I guess she was talking about, okay. He says, "Why don't you just unplug her?"
Yeah.
As this woman's crying at the table with them. And everyone goes silent.
Yeah, his wife looks.
And then in the car, his wife calls him out on his weird behavior, and he's just deflective. So he's reading again, practicing for the play. And this time it's even worse than it was last time. He's making the actress playing opposite him extremely uncomfortable.
Well, he's all over her.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you would when you're close with somebody. Kind of joking around,
Yeah.
That's the best I can't think of any
He's
circumstance
like
where
very
we would do that to
aggressive,
one
very
another.
touchy. It's
Yeah,
almost like he's trying to like use her to make his performance good.
a little bit. I got it as he has zero inhibitions.
Well, yeah.
Because without a soul, right? That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, just going nuts.
It's bad.
Ugh.
So the director talks to him about it, and Paul doesn't seem to be able to tune into the emotions or like cues that other people give off. And he's having some trouble. So he goes back to the doctor to visit his soul, right? He checks on it and he talks to the doctor, and the doctor is like, well, if you get your soul back, you're just going to have the same problem you did before.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you came in. So he's offered a catalog of donor souls to rent. They have a lot of Russian donor souls. And this is where I was like, oh, okay.
Well, they have he makes it a point. He says, we have all these, I did it. We have all these souls. We even have Russian souls donated. So it's like, I get it.
So he's given this catalog and told to pick a soul, and he picks a Russian poet.
Yes. to rent or borrow for 2 weeks.
Yes.
So he can get through this play.
Yeah. So, and then we later see Olga's there, or Nina's there again at the doctor, and she's going through the procedure, and the doctor is telling her that she can't keep doing these. And I'm not really sure what he's talking about in this moment. Like, he says something about soul fragments and it being dangerous.
Well, Paul only had 95% of his soul extracted. There's always something left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have another soul put in you, when that gets taken out, some of that's going to be left behind.
Right.
And so whatever the 95 percent of his soul, because he left 5% in there. Yeah. Who knows how much percent of this other soul is going to be in there? So he's not going to get his full 95 back.
Right.
And that's kind of her.
Right. But it's like, apparently she's done this several times.
Right.
Many times. Enough times for the doctor to be concerned about her. And Paul, meanwhile, picks the poet and gets the transplant. And now his rehearsal is like going swimmingly. But he's having these memories or visions of the same woman that Nina saw earlier.
Right.
With the babies. And then he's wandering through the city, and he ends up at the same hotel that Nina was in earlier in the film. And he just like, he seems to be guided towards this door. He knocks, listens, there's no one there. So he checks into that room, and then he has more visions of this woman. And it's that Olga who asked for her soul back. So this is her soul that he is using.
Right.
And it's like flashes of an orphanage, I think. Lots of children, babies in medical bubbles.
Yeah.
You know?
And then he kind of falls asleep to that.
Yeah.
He wakes up flustered, as who wouldn't. And then we see him walking the boardwalk. He sits staring. And he looks terrible. Like, not like I'm concerned, terrible. Like something's going to kill me from the inside.
Yeah.
Terrible. You know, circles and not just dark circles, but you know, when they sometimes have the dark circles and there's always like little beads of sweat under them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like hell. So, I lost my spot. Oh, here we are. He goes home, climbs into bed with his wife, who is awake and looking concerned, but doesn't face him.
Right.
She's not facing him, so she doesn't let him know that she's awake. So he gets in and he cuddles her. The woman, meanwhile, is back at the shifty place.
Yeah.
This was first the secret place. Now it looks shifty. So we've seen more of it. There's a line of people selling their souls and getting royally screwed. You know, we can hear and in typical like Russian mob fashion, the guy taking the souls to pay, you know, and giving out the money, screaming at him, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this thing. It looks like a shriveled up prune. 20,000 rupees, you know, rubles. No. So it's a pretty dark kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing good is happening here. And then we have a group of people sitting like in the lounge.
Right. In like the boss lounge.
Yeah, which is only slightly nicer than
Yes.
the rest of the place. And they're talking about getting and selling American souls to Russians.
Right.
And some of them are like, who the fuck wants an American soul? And then this woman in the group has a list of souls that she would like.
And they're all famous American actors.
Al Pacino, George Clooney, and then that goes on and on a little bit. And so at the clinic, the woman who has been, Nina, is sneaking on to the receptionist's computer while she's off doing something. The receptionist, every time someone comes in, she like goes into the extraction room with this like tray
Right. She walks
of like
them in.
herbal tea and stuff. And so, yeah, she grabs a tray, goes in there. Then clickety clack, comes across Paul's name in this list.
Right. Because she was tasked with getting an American actors.
And yeah, occupation actor.
And he's the only one there.
And then we have a quick shot of the soul machine room. And I just like, did she take Paul's soul? And must have, because we see a flashback involving Paul walking around.
Yeah.
Right. And then later she's in the shower and she starts to get a bloody nose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that all kind of happens like boom, 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 boom. Paul's back at the doctor. He looks like absolute shit. Even worse than when we last saw him.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah. He's saying the soul is too big for his life.
Yes.
For the life that he leads. This soul is just too much. He wants his soul back. And then we get into like the doctor talking about soul trafficking. We see the Shifty place again. They have their own soul extraction machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that this woman, Nina, is in it. Then we cut back to Paul, and he goes to his soul storage locker, and his soul is gone. Now, the lady from the little group before who wants an American actor's soul, she has Paul's chickpea soul in her hands. And she's looking, and she's not thrilled.
No, she's like, it's a fucking chickpea.
Right? And then we cut back to the clinic. They're ruffling through the lockers, all of them. The Shifty place, this actor is told it's Al Pacino's soul, so she gets it put in.
Yeah, one of the things he's like, Al Pacino has 3 Emmys or something.
Yeah. Weird. Just weird.
Very weird. So, yeah. Then we're with the doctor, and he's telling Paul that they probably accidentally shipped it to the New Jersey warehouse. No need to be alarmed.
Right.
And Paul is understandably upset that they lost his soul.
Yes.
And the doctor's like, well, we're going to work on finding it, but you could potentially, redevelop your soul from the remaining 5% that you have. It could grow back.
Yeah, it's been known to, it's possible to it's just the conversation is, you get the frustration.
Yeah.
But it's funny as hell.
Oh yeah. And then we see Nina, and she is looking for Paul Giamatti's films so she can watch them.
Yeah, at some rundown DVD store or rental place.
Yeah. And she's having a conversation with the actress who's like the boss's wife.
Yep.
And that's what I call her, is boss's wife.
Yeah.
Who's kind of like bitching about the soul a little bit. And Olga's like, it was a beautiful soul. It's a beautiful soul.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Paul, and he's pretending to be asleep when his wife comes to bed.
Do you mean Nina? You said Olga.
Yeah, I meant Nina. I have it written Olga for like a long time in here.
The woman.
Yeah, Nina. Yeah, she thought Paul's soul was beautiful. So Paul's pretending to be asleep. His wife asks him if there's someone else. And then he turns and he's like, if I were a different me in the same body, would you still love me? And she's like, what? And then he just tells her everything, right? He shows her the article. He explains what's going on, comes completely clean with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she is flabbergasted.
Oh,
as
yeah.
he's telling her this.
Yeah, absolutely gobsmacked.
Because she's just like, why? What?
Why would you do this?
What? So then we see the boss's wife who's trying out Paul's soul and she seems to be enjoying it, right? She's on a soap opera.
Yeah, a Russian soap opera.
And the boss is watching her on it. And then Nina asks the boss when his wife is planning to return the soul, and he just kind of brushes her off. Like he's not worried about it. But Nina seems to be worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Back in New York, they still can't find Paul's soul.
No.
So the doctor gives him some pills to deal with the illness effects, which he says is like a soul rejection.
Yeah. Take 2 of these 3 times a day.
Yeah. And so Paul asks about the donor again because he's really insistent on meeting this donor.
Right.
Right.
Whoever's soul he has rented.
He wants to know who this soul belongs to.
Yeah.
Because he's gotten quite close to it and he's been deeply affected by it. So, and then he's told about the mules. So what is happening is people like Nina are putting the souls in their body,
mm-hmm.
traveling over, overseas, emptying them out, going back, getting another soul, because I guess souls are volatile at altitude.
Yes.
So they can only be transported in a body.
Yep. So they're loading themselves up with souls, and that's why she has all this,
mm-hmm.
all these remnants in her.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, then tell me who brought it here. And evidently the doctor does, because he bumps into Nina at the hotel, goes there, knocks the door, and she opens it and just pulls him in. And they don't even get to have a discussion because he looks on the bed and one of his films are there. And he's like, you know where it is, don't you?
Was it a film?
It was one of his movies.
Oh, I thought it was a book about him.
No, it was a Paul
okay.
Giamatti movie.
Okay.
And he's like, you know where it is, don't you? Immediately. And she's a little hedgy at first, but it doesn't take a whole lot for her to come clean with him.
Right.
So she tells him it's in Russia. This woman is using it. And he's like, well, get it back. I didn't rent it out.
Yeah, didn't give permission.
Right. Why is someone wearing my soul? And he's like, I'll buy it back, whatever I have to do. And she's like, it's not about money. They're very wealthy. The only thing they don't have is talent.
Yep, I love that. And he's just like, I don't know what to do with that.
Right?
He doesn't say that, but the look on his face is like, sure. Next thing is Paul packing to head over to get his soul back. He and the woman, Nina, go to Russia. They're at a hotel. And he's sitting down. And, and in St. Petersburg, if you've got Paul Giamatti money, you're staying at a really nice hotel.
Yes.
And they are gorgeous. And he is in just this lavish, wonderful restaurant/lounge. And they bring him his dinner plate, and it's a plate full of fucking chickpeas. Yeah. And he's just like, ugh. So obviously he doesn't eat. They end up going to the shifty place. The shifty place. The guy in charge is pissed, the boss,
yeah.
right? And he's like, this isn't his problem. They all end up sitting together. The boss tells Paul that his wife doesn't want to give up the soul. And the boss says they thought they were getting Al Pacino's soul. And he doesn't want to disappoint her.
Right.
Okay. And then Paul finds out she's doing a soap opera and he loses his shit.
Yes.
Saying, are you kidding me? A soap opera? She's going to ruin my soul. And then the boss tells him, just go out.
We've got a bunch of souls here.
Got lots of books to go through. Go out, pick a soul and go home. And in a very not subtle, threatening manner.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're in the car driving and Paul is just yelling at Nina.
Yeah, he's furious.
Yeah, and he's like, I want to talk to the wife. And then they find her at a ballet class. It seemed like that same building with all the art stuff going on. And then they start stalking her. They track her to a salon where she's getting a wig. And then he goes in to confront her. She ends up storming off. What happened?
It was a notification. I'm on airplane mode, but it apparently didn't care.
On the phone?
Yeah.
Weird.
I know.
You just put a bullet in my momentum.
Sorry.
So they're in the salon.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up storming off. Right. There's a whole big exchange. Nina comes in. They shout back and forth. And then the boss's wife goes off.
Well, she's mad because her husband lied to her.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm not giving the soul up, but this is between me and my husband.
Right.
So Paul's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And they end up going, they found out the woman, Paul and Nina end up at some factory asking around, and they find out this Olga woman whose soul he has, where she lived.
Right.
And they go there and they find out that she had committed suicide 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it suddenly, this is a super thick gray veil over all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And then he wonders as they're driving, what happens to the soul when the donor dies?
Yeah.
Right?
And she just says, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. And they just leave it at that.
I wrote that moment down too, because it was like a goosebumpy moment, you know?
It is. I mean, this was
just sad and beautiful.
It was a very salient question.
Yeah.
And this has been kind of a weird, you get his frustration and what a shitty thing and this and that. But there's all this levity in these moments and exchanges.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedy.
Very well balanced, not over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, boom, this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so, they find that out. Well, he asks that before they go to her apartment.
Right.
Right. He ends up taking a photo album. The landlady is just like weird as shit and just crude.
Of the donor, Olga.
Yeah. And then they end up at some function like a day or two or three later. There's no
like a party.
Thing.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it's a weird party. And the boss's wife is there and she's just like
having a ball.
Yeah, having a ball, dancing and, doing whatever. And then it just cuts to later. Almost everybody's gone. And there's some people sleeping in chairs, Paul being one of them. Mm-hmm. He just wakes up, looks around, gets up and just kind of just walks out. Like,
And Olga picks him up like she's in the car outside and she's got the wife sedated in the back seat.
Right? Yeah.
And she's like, we got to hurry. So they go to the machine in the shady factory and they extract the soul from the unconscious wife. And he holds up the jar and the chickpea, which before was, it
was those weird chickpeas where they grew together. Right. It was, chickpea size and had like a little, like another chickpea on it. So it was, No,
it was just a regular chickpea.
No, take a look at it.
I looked.
Take another look.
Anyway. But it was like a canned chickpea. And then when he picks up the jar, it rattles around. It's hard and dry. And he's like, it's all dried out.
He's pissed.
And Olga's like, yeah, it's not surprising.
Nina.
Yeah. Nina. Sorry. Nina is not surprised. So they put Paul in the machine, but his soul is resisting going back in.
Right.
So he has to put, and these were mentioned earlier in the film, what people usually do is they put on these weird goggles that let them look inside.
Right.
And he refused the first time because he was like, I don't want to see what's inside.
Yeah, he was having a hard time going through with it anyway.
Right.
So all this, extra shit, he's like, ah.
So he's forced to put these on to reconnect with his soul and get it to go back in.
Yeah, because it's been so long. Plus, it's been in the actor, boss's wife.
And then we see what he sees, and inside is just empty.
Yeah. Just this large white space.
And then there's like a naked toddler running across the floor.
Yeah.
And then there's a door. And Paul's now going through all these like weird visuals and memories of himself as a kid, I think, and just all these different things.
Yeah, it seemed like his childhood relationship with his mother, and then a couple things when he's a little older.
Like a sick father.
Yeah.
And as he comes out of the machine, like he's very emotional. He's more emotional than we've ever seen him in the whole of the movie. And the jar is empty.
Yes. And
he's like, well, what happened to Olga's soul? And they don't know. But they've got to skedaddle.
Yep. It's
before
just
the wife
gone.
wakes up. Yeah.
It's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when Paul gets home, his wife is sleeping. He lays down next to her. He plays with her hair. He's himself again.
Yeah.
And then he visits the doctor's office, and there's like Homeland Security just taking everything.
Yeah, this is being cleaned out. And the doctor's just like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just Homeland Security. And we're on top of all this.
Yeah. And Paul has gone there because he's trying to get Nina her soul back.
Right.
Because she's quit the mule. And the doctor's like, well, I can't, I'm not in control of anything. You got to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And it's just a suit who is like, well, we can't just give it to you because we have to assess its value and all this kind of like, weird talk. And then he's like, and even if you could get it, she might not have room for it.
Right.
All the muling left her with so many fragments of all the souls that she accumulated that there's probably not any more room for the soul that she once had.
Right, because you can't clear those out. They're there permanently.
Right.
Right.
A little bit gets left behind every time. And so Paul is sort of devastated by this. And he goes to the beach, and we see her kind of walking in the distance, and he walks up to her, and that's just it.
Yeah. Well, I made sure to put in that he's at the beach sitting, staring out, and then he sees her walking on the beach in the cold. This is winter in New York, before heavy snow. Because when I was typing that out, I thought this sounds rather paradise-like, because what's the first thing you think of? Oh, walking on the beach and stuff.
Right.
It is bitter fucking cold and windy, right? So that added to the gloom of this moment where we don't, it's that and it reminded me of Lost in Translation. The best way to end. We don't need to know what they're talking about. We don't need to know what he says to her. We know it's tragic, and what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We just need to know this one thing, and boom. So yeah, that was a little steep for a. It was a funny movie.
Yeah, it was a comedy.
At the beginning, we were having
up until the end, and then you're like, oh man.
Well, there's some really potent questions, simple questions. What is going to happen if they did something? If they could find the soul, and this could happen, what kind of terrible things would go on? Well, obviously, this whole Russian enterprise, right? And we were outside sitting. We were talking about, the black market organ transplant thing. People like to poo-poo it, but we know it happens. Now, some of the stories, there's a million people who know somebody who woke up in a hotel room in a bathtub full of ice with a note that says, call the doctor, and their kidney had been removed.
Sure.
Right? I don't think it's that much of the truth. But in these, especially third world countries, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, think about it. Your entire lifetime doing what you're doing, you're going to never make enough to guarantee your family won't starve. But with this one thing, give up a kidney because you got two. You'll never have to work again, and that money can last a couple generations.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stark stuff that goes on in the world.
So this movie is precision.
Yes.
It was. We didn't get the budget.
No.
But it was well funded.
Well, yeah, it was a Sundance baby.
Yeah. So everything, rather than pick specific lessons, technical stuff, this thing was top shelf. Like I said, a precision movie. The cinematography, the direction, the performances, everything was way up there. And it's funny because with that kind of money, they could have gone all out with the soul extractor,
right,
and all this crazy shit. And it really honestly feels, and I could be wrong, but to me, it feels like, that was a conscious decision because that's not the story.
Right.
There's this machine. It's pretty mundane, really.
Yeah. Right? And even his going in was, very mundane.
Yeah. And I know in a lot of indie films, that kind of thing, that kind of decision is made because of budget.
Right.
This did not seem like it was a budget thing. This was a decision.
Intentional.
Yeah. The machine's not the story. So it just needs to be a background thing. Yeah, everything was really great. And just the number of people that are in this.
Yeah, a lot of well-known actors were in this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go on IMDb and see who all of them are.
Yeah.
But
and let's just throw it out there. So the boss's wife, who wants to be an actor and gets his soul, Paul's soul and stuff, is Catherine Winnick,
who plays Lagatha on the show Vikings.
Yes. And we've seen her in a couple other things. She's on a TV show that I tried to watch and I can't.
Yeah.
It's a series that's over here. But we've seen her in other stuff overseas, English productions and Swedish stuff and everything. She's brilliant.
She is. She's wonderful.
And to see her play such a fairly small,
beautiful role. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with her. She's like Seth Green. God damn it. You go back and watch Vikings from episode 1 and you're like, oh, it's little baby Ragnar.
Right.
He looks so goddamn young, childlike. And Bjorn, when he comes back as a, grown almost man, he still has such a baby face. And by the end of the series, I mean, yeah, some of it's makeup, but even if you see him out of the makeup, it's like, well, yeah, the dude has grown.
Right.
And matured. But yeah, not Catherine.
Well, this was before Vikings.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The stuff we've seen her after Vikings.
Right.
Right. And the series that she's in now looks just
the same. True.
So I'm going to put her on the list with Seth Green. We're going to get them somehow on the show to get them to admit to us. There's some super sci-fi,
there's supernatural
shit going on.
Anti-aging powers.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, these performances were obviously great. And Paul Giamatti.
Well, that was why we picked this movie, sans trailer, was because we were like, this is a movie all about Paul Giamatti, where he's the star. And normally he's supporting roles. But
like on, is it Showtime, Stars, one of those, he was on, he was the lead guy.
Yeah.
He's just really good.
He's wonderful.
And I don't care if Paul Giamatti has a fucking walk-on part. I will watch that movie just to go, Paul
Giamatti. Yeah.
So the technical lessons are everything. This is a really good, and yeah, it's budget, but you know what? You aspire to attain the level that, these movies with the money can reach with what you have. And we have had some examples where that can be done.
Yes.
Right. But I just want to say the other thing is with these number of people in it, we've seen indie films with big people.
Right.
And they're always kind of like almost artsy.
Yeah.
Just sort of silly.
I get it.
Artsy stuff. This was pretty head on.
I mean, it was a little artsy, but it was like in a good way.
Some of like Paul's flashback thing when he was connecting with his soul. I did put, now it's starting to look a little art filmy.
Right.
I'm not sure what's going on, but okay.
Yeah. And then what I thought was kind of cool, and we discussed a little bit, was that Paul Giamatti plays himself.
Yes.
A fictionalized version of himself. And we talked about this a little bit, and how this is it is a conceit that is used in films, fairly regularly. And we were like, I wonder why he would do that. Right. But I mean, the conclusion that I came to, and I don't know if you think something different, is that.
No, I agreed with you.
Oh, yeah. Is that it kind of helps us feel more connected to him in the movie.
Yes.
Because if he was just playing some random, what I said, like Ron Brown or something.
Yeah.
Down on his luck actor, Ron Brown, we wouldn't care as much, I don't think.
Well, it shifts the story from just we're watching a character, right? We're introduced to him. He's going through this thing. We're like, okay, it's a guy who wants to be a thing. But when Paul Giamatti is playing Paul Giamatti in some elaborate, altered form, we're not connecting with some guy who wants to be an up and coming actor.
We're connecting to an actor we already know and love.
Yeah. And we're asking the question is, why the fuck would you do this?
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, man? Nothing in our book.
Right. It was a very thoughtful movie. It was not rushed. One of the things that I really liked about it was that, well, first of all, it provoked a lot of thoughts for us.
Oh, right? It certainly did.
Yeah. I mean, what a really interesting concept to explore, just creatively as an idea.
Yeah.
But on top of that, in terms of like filmmaking and technical and, just creative know-how, this film isn't driven by dialogue.
Right.
There's not a lot of story building dialogue in the film.
No.
It's all just sort of incidental or background.
Or levity.
Right. Or comedy. Instead, it relies on the performances of Paul Giamatti, of the other actors, less on what they're saying and more on what their faces are saying and what their bodies are saying and what their movement is saying.
Right. And we were talking about, it's funny how like he's had some like breakout early on roles, but the one thing that caught everybody's attention was that fucking Marky Mark Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, he was funny in it. And everything, he's, playing an orangutan. But the one thing that stuck out, and yes, they make the prosthetics to function with the face and stuff. But out of all those people, even, Helena Bonham Carter was in it, playing, a chimp. And no one could come close to, even Tim Roth could come close to the facial expressions through the makeup that Giamatti did. And that was just, I think that caught everyone's attention. God damn, look at him act through that makeup. Holy shit. And then here he is today. But in this movie, if you've ever thought, he seems like an expressive kind of actor. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You could watch this on mute and enjoy it because he is
definitely.
expressive, and never the same one twice.
That is the thing. Like, this is a movie you could watch on mute without subtitles and you would know what's going on.
Yeah. Because
Like,
it's happening, and he's reacting to everything that's going on, and that's telling the story. And the other people doing a great job too.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons I love Paul Giamatti is I'm so excited to see him because he can just take some words and an attitude and a character, and he just like builds it up in his face, and then it just explodes into the camera.
Yeah.
You know,
It's really good.
It was super good.
Really good.
That kind of like is the the trifecta of stuff, right? They had a huge budget. They had wonderful talent. They had a superb story that does make you think.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit you at the beginning. You're not watching a documentary. You're not watching this deep, artsy dive into the soul.
Right. You don't have to interpret a whole lot of things.
Yeah. You start a movie where a soul is considered now like a utility.
Right.
Right.
Well, like just an organ.
Yeah. I don't need this external flash drive, so I'm just going to go put it away somewhere. And it's supposed to unburden you. And that was the name of the article, or the subtext in the article.
Unburden yourself.
Yeah. New Yorkers no longer want to feel burdened carrying around their souls. Like they're carrying some fucking travel case full of bowling balls or something.
Right.
Right. So it's weird, but then it does those questions, those are like deep philosophical questions.
I mean, they really are.
What happened to Olga's soul? Why didn't it come out?
Right.
And
what does the soul look like? How do you quantify it?
There is a super at the beginning. And I can't remember what philosopher.
I want to say Descartes.
I think, but it was in the 1600s, saying that the soul rests like in the middle of the brain in some little nodule.
Right, in the pituitary gland.
Yeah, hence the extraction machine with this light bulb lit headgear thing. But, what does the soul do?
Right.
Him portraying that, it's supposed to, I don't know what, and they're never really clear. He wants to get rid of his soul to get out of his fucking head. Because this trying to nail this performance is killing him.
Yeah.
And somehow not having a soul frees you of that. But then it makes him go the other way.
Right.
Well,
and then kind of the question of what happens if you rent someone else's soul, right?
Right.
If you're holding on to that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What happens if you have, like Olga had her soul taken when she dies?
Yeah.
That's the other question. It's the same question, but from the other side. What happens to the soul of somebody who dies?
Yeah.
I mean, is she, if we're into the whole transcendent thing, does her soul actually ever go anywhere? Is that what happened when they threw his in? Hers just, it's not gone. It went to where it was supposed to. I mean, that's a more beautiful thought than
it's just gone.
Yep, it just petered out.
Right.
It's done. It's just really crazy, If you watch this film, folks, watch it in a group.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be a wonderful discussion group film.
Oh, absolutely. This would be the perfect precursor to a salon night.
Yeah.
Right. And just have your favorite drinks and snacks and stuff. Watch this movie and then go.
Yeah.
Let the questions flow and discuss. So it was pretty heavy, but not in a disappointing way.
Well, yeah, it's very philosophical without feeling pretentious.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Because they kept it simple, not a lot of jargon, not a lot of people talking.
Right.
Not a lot of just useless crap, which is really
it was a
wonderful.
It was a wonderfully written script as well. The dialogue and the way that the story flowed, like the editing was done really well.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and reach out to Sophie.
Okay.
And see. We're not going to get Paul on the show. That's
What?
oh well, because he's like a cool dude.
He's a busy man.
But well, he's an A-lister, which means he's unavailable. There's layers and layers of agents and managers and functionaries that you have to go through, and his time is too valuable to be fiddling around on small podcasts like this. I get that.
Sure.
I get that. But man, I would like to get Sophie and ask her about the writing of this.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration? That would be something to know.
Well, I did actually. Here's a fun fact.
Oh, you found a fun fact.
Yeah. IMDb always has trivia.
Right.
Well. And in the trivia, there was, she said that her inspiration for the film was that she had a dream that Woody Allen had his soul removed, and it was a chickpea. And then she wrote this with Woody Allen in mind for the lead. It would not have been good with Woody Allen as
we would not be talking about this movie in this fashion if it had been Woody Allen.
But listen, okay, I don't know why that didn't work out, right? But here's what I imagine happened. Okay. We're going to pretend you're not even Woody Allen. Okay. We're going to pretend that you and I are going to write a script together, and I've come to you. I say, Jim, I had a dream, and I think this could be a really cool film. So here's my dream. You had your soul removed, and it was a chickpea. I want to write, and I want you to star in it.
That is not a strong pitch. I get where you're going.
It's also maybe slightly like a little offensive to the person.
Probably. Well, let me just say, Woody Allen had his time and place in cinema.
Sure.
All right. I will never deny that. And I like Bananas. I fucking love Bananas.
Yeah.
Some of his other stuff is a little out there, but then there was just a point where it's like, Woody, one of the hallmarks of a great person is them being able to self-identify. It's time to let it go. Because he was till the very end pushing. It's just like, oh, dude, you are 45 years out of sync. This is no longer, stop, please, before my memory of you is tainted and soiled by these last ventures of yours that I can't think of you fondly like I do. And it could have been the pitch, or they could have actually started moving forward with it. And she sat in a room with them. They're reading the script. And she was like, no. I need to come up
whatever
with an excuse.
happened.
I got to come up with an excuse. I
can't do this.
No. Oh no. But yeah, this would not have been any kind of the same movie.
It would have been an entirely different film.
Yeah. And we were talking too about Paul Giamatti. Of course we were. This is a guy who, like so many others, right? They're set. They don't need to get out of bed for the rest of their lives. They're hopefully long, healthy lives. But he has done more indie films and more little bits and more things. To me, it just says how much he loves his craft.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be because we know there are people out there who won't touch a script unless it smells like an Oscar.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
He has put himself out in a bunch of ways. And it's always wonderful.
I don't know. Watching this film, I wouldn't have rolled it out for an Oscar.
I would have solely because, it's not because it's bad or there's anything lacking. When I talk about Oscars, I know the system and how it works. And, we all you got to do is just go back and look through all the Oscar picks, all the losses, all the wins.
Yeah.
there is a very, year to year, there's a very specific thing they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never from a movie like this. It's seldom from anything that spawned at a festival and then got a mainstream distributor. Super rare that even makes the target, right? Everyone knows, and most people in Hollywood kind of, some people just outright say it, and I love them for doing it. Like, fuck the Academy. They need to go. We need to get rid of these awards. They're not doing justice.
They're not helping anything.
They're not helping.
And they're not furthering the arts.
No. And so here's what happens, right? Al Pacino, screwed over year after year after year after wonderful movie performance.
Yeah, Al Pacino does not have three Oscars.
Well, he got nominated and won for Scent of a Woman. In my opinion, his worst fucking movie. That movie is such shit. I hate it.
But it was like about time for him to get one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we need to give him one now before something happens and we had to add him to the posthumous award thing at the end of this long ass ceremony. The ignorance of the Academy, ignoring women, people of color, and ethnicities and stories that aren't there. But then see, someone bitches about it loud enough, long enough, then the next thing you know, the next year's awards are all about that thing because they're trying to save face. And it's just so obvious. It's like, oh, yeah, you found a black director, not one, but 8. And that's all you nominated. And let's be honest, 2 or 3 of these movies they suck. But that to me is more insulting than giving a straightforward award for achievement and work. And, you created this piece of art. But the Academy is always like a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah.
Right. And then they ride that pony to save face and hold on to supporters and stuff. I think we should come up with a whole new award system for that. But anyway, where indie, everyone can get in, right?
Yeah.
These fucking people get paid to watch movies. So let's give them some movies to watch.
Right.
And let's have a widely diverse group of people from everywhere. Because you know what? We all don't like the same things. And yet we do all like some of the same things.
Right.
Right? So I think better representation, all that stuff. But this easily could have been at least an Oscar nominee.
Oh, sure.
And not just because of Paul. Everyone in there could have gotten a nomination, and then every technical bing, 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 bing.
Well, I mean, yeah, and Sophie for the story and the direction.
Absolutely. Best director, best screenplay.
I don't remember what was coming out in 2009.
I don't either.
To compete with this.
But anyway, this one, watch it, folks.
Yeah.
Just like Repo the Genetic Opera, this deserves a cult following of the movies that we love. I am going to put this in with Local Hero and The Tall Guy.
It's really good.
And Lost in Translation and Station Agent.
Yeah.
It's not a slice of life movie, but it's Paul Giamatti fucking up in this weird way and just trying to set shit straight. And
well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that when we were looking for a movie to watch for this episode.
Because we had picked one.
Yeah, we had picked one.
And I'm like, let's, go a couple more rows down.
Yeah. And you said, is that Giamatti?
Yeah. And you know what we're talking about, folks? On Tubi, sometimes the movie posters and stuff, right? The figures and everything on them are so small.
Yeah.
And then with those thumbnails, you look at something and is that Giamatti? And then you have to click on it and the poster doesn't get big, but at least you can see starring, because we've had a few, like, is that Toby? No.
No,
it's not.
It just looks kind of
guy
like
who looks
him.
Remarkably like him, slightly pixelated.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Watch it.
This will end up in most people's library.
I will watch this again. This is a movie that I would put on
I do. When we have time to completely fuck away 90 minutes,
Yeah.
I absolutely
Not
want
often, but
well, lately, yeah. I do want to watch it without taking notes.
yes.
So that I can do the full,
Absorb.
yeah, just sit and be
Yeah.
with this movie because it's that good. And it deserves it. It deserves it, you know. And a lot of movies we watch that we haven't already seen previously
Right.
deserve the full, but I mean, you can only, you know, you can't watch a movie and not take notes and then talk about it a week later.
I mean, we watch
it's
it.
Not as
we spend at
rich.
least 3 hours a week watching a movie and recording.
Yeah.
Right. On average, probably about 4 hours.
Oh, 4 hours. Plus I got to listen to the whole thing
Right.
beginning to end and do the editing. And then we got to do an intro and then I got to put all that together and get it out.
And then we watch a bunch of other movies.
And then there's the other stuff that we're doing, plus the BF McGillicuddy and plus the upcoming podcast with the Midge.
And D&D prep.
And then there's D&D prep and our weekly D&D games.
And oh yeah, we have jobs.
Oh yeah. So, Jesus Christ. Well, like today, you know, I was working on that module. My whole plan was to work on that module. Things have conspired to just fuck with our time, little bits at a time. But it's like that. We explained to Lily nickel and diming.
Yeah.
Right. What, you know, the car's starting to nickel and dime.
Here, 10 minutes here.
You know, the car costs you $5 here, $15 there and stuff. But before you know it, you've dropped $1,500 into this damn thing.
Yeah.
Just not all at once.
Yeah.
So it's not as painful. But then, yeah, you reach a point where you're like, God damn. And today it's like, all right, I'm going to go do this thing. And then I got to make dinner. And I didn't get that thing done. And I didn't hardly enough work on the module because there was stuff this morning. And then, you know, I involved myself with your skin, your computer skin.
My new skin.
Or your new machine.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I try to be very precise. And it's a slow process. So, I mean, I have myself to blame for some of the stuff, but yeah. Anyway, great movie. You got to watch it. It's a precision film. So this is what you're aiming for. And, you know, don't equate budgets and stuff like, oh, I can never afford that kind of camera. Go back through a lot of our episodes. Look for the shit you've never heard of. If you're just, you know, jumping in, listen to the episode on it, find that movie, watch it, and you'll see what we're talking about. You can achieve greatness with next to nothing if you're smart about it and you're committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the best way to learn is to get doing it.
Yep. I guess the one bit of advice we would have is like arcade. Don't do a money grab.
Oh, okay. I was like, why do we have to talk about arcade?
Well, because we do.
Did that already.
Well, because they had money.
I know.
They had money for, I mean, it looks laughable, but in the day, that was expensive stuff. Don't do the money grab.
Yeah.
Do your story. Be thoughtful about it. Be passionate about it. Stick to it. And, you know, birth it one day at a time until it's complete. That's the stuff we're going to be talking about for other people who are starting out.
Yeah.
To, you know, what? Look at this. Look what they did with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Money grabs just end up shit.
Yeah. This movie was not a money grab. It was a thoughtful.
Right. Arcade was a money grab.
Right. It was a thoughtful, beautifully done movie. So.
And after you're done watching it,
go check out our website. www.
I didn't. Sometimes you roll with it. Sometimes you just like look at me to finish.
LordsandMissRollProductions.com.
Everything is on there. All of our links, pages for BF McGillicuddy, our merchandise, the podcast, all of our episodes are on the website, as well as all the links to the platforms that we're on. If you want to subscribe through there, please subscribe. Please watch some BF McGillicuddy. Please like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and share the videos, share the podcast.
If you have something you want us to talk about, email us. Our emails are on the website. Also, check out our social media. You can also contact us through our social media platforms.
Yep. And you can see who's following us and who we're following.
They're cool people. Check them out.
Yep. Welcome to your tribe.
I think that covers it.
I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
And we've got one on tap for next week.
Yes.
Which I'm not going to spoil, but it has one of my all-time favorite actors in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's not. Yeah, and I don't want to go into it, but
right,
it's a fun thing.
And it's the kind of film we haven't done since. I just had the chicken one.
Oh sure, yeah. I can't remember. Stick caveman one.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I know. So
that's okay. It's an adventure film.
It is. It looks to be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of stuff we need.
Yeah.
And we need more of. So Spit.
That's it.
Spit. Yeah. So yeah.
That's why we're addicted to Ted Lasso, because it's just like balm to your sad soul.
There are just some things that this is what you need right now. And that was not at all the purpose, because it was done years ago, right? It just so happens. Ted Lasso, though, yeah, it's current, and it is what you need now.
If you don't watch it, get on it, because it's wonderful.
And the Great British Baking Show
is back.
You need to get on there, because, again, it's the show you need for right now.
Yeah.
Because you know why. All right. B-Siders.
Until next time.
This is Jim.
And this is Danny.
And we will talk to you soon.